So about a year and a half ago or so, this is where we first started our videos, was back in the corner of what is now yard 3, when we started talking about stormwater management at the zoo and part of our net zero water project. So if you recall, we made the commitment several years ago to capture every gallon of water, rainwater that hits our zoo. We will capture that water, clean it up, and reuse it, mostly for elephant or for pools, whether it be manatees, elephants, etc., irrigation, all of those things, waterfalls. And we've done huge projects in Africa, Rue Valley, but this is our 1 million gallon system sitting here at the bottom of the zoo. So half the zoo roughly drains by gravity into the site, which is nice. So we put in the 1 million gallon tank, and it's just been up and running for the last couple months. But I thought we would show you, now that you've seen videos of our elephants enjoying the water in the pools, what's it take to get that water that's in those tanks into that pool nice and clean and safe. After we capture that water, and we need some, we pump it out of the original concrete tanks, put it in a vault that then gets pumped into this room. This is the bottom or the basement of the otter building, the Simon and Otter building. So this is the first bit of filtration. These are big sand filters, just like you would see at a swimming pool, just quite a bit bigger. This is that first piece. And since we're in the otter building, we'll just kind of stay here. When this water gets cleaned the first time, it actually gets then put back down into the exhibit, into those big plastic pipes, if you remember, those big 8-foot plastic pipes. That's our clean water storage. We also have a little bit of chlorine in there, just floating around, just make sure there's nothing stagnating. And then we're actually ready to use it for an exhibit, we'll pump it back into here. And on this side of this building for otters is that second tier of filtration. And it's more sand and ozone, and the ozone being the key. That's our disinfectant. So you can see rainwater that comes into the system is already really clean, actually. There's not a lot in it, and we hit it with sand multiple times, a touch of chlorine, and then that last hit of ozone, which is a very powerful disinfectant and very widely used in the zoo and aquarium world. That's why we feel so good about this water, and that it is best in class water for our animals and is as clean, if not cleaner, than potable water out of your sink. And we also test the heck out of this water. So every single week we're testing water, sometimes more than that. So that's for otter, and we'll go over and look at elephant to see what we do for the elephant pool. A 250,000 gallon pool for elephants is essentially a 250,000 gallon toilet. So how do you keep that water clean? So in addition to the rainwater piece, which we'll show you here in a second, when those elephants defecate in the pool, there's a big, essentially toilet in the back there, concrete pit, where we have a screen where it pulls all that poop out of there and hay and all the other things. That does a big amount of the work. And then again, we have these huge sand filters in here. These are the same filters essentially that we have for Fiona. So hippo filters and elephant filters for pools are about the same. So this, again, huge sand filters, and this does about 90% of that polish. And then before it goes back in the pool, we have that clean rainwater and some ozone, which we'll show you here in a second. And then down here in the basement of Elephant Trek, this is the last step. This is where the rainwater that's already been cleaned over an otter is brought over here, is hit again with these smaller systems, and again ozonated. So you can see that complete cycle of rain into the concrete tank, pulled into otter, cleaned, put in the clean water storage in the black pipes, and then brought back over here, cleaned again, which is, as you can see, why we feel very good about this being best in class water. But you can also see what it takes to do that. It's a ton, and quite frankly, a lot of energy, which is one of the reasons we have 165 kilowatts of solar panels on the roof of this facility to help offset the energy costs and usage related to all of this. So in total, as you can see, this is a huge system. On a typical year, we expect around 30 to 35 million gallons of rainwater to come through here. And it's not just otter and elephant trek. We are piping this water up to manatee. It's already piped into manatee with, again, similar systems there that are already there. We are also piping this in for sea otter, which is coming up in 2025. And we've also run piping to places like the Belt and run it up towards Reptile House, etc. So over the winter, when you see these big time paver projects and why they take so long, it's because we're not just doing pavers. We're separating the sewers and the stormwater as we go, and running piping from this system all the way back up into the zoo for a very complex distribution system. So as other exhibits come online, we have access to that rainwater. So it's a very complicated system that's been in the works for 15 years. And with this project settling, we'll have about almost 80% of the zoo covered. Well on our way to our 100% goal.